I've been getting a lot of messages from people who are on the fence about stepping up from a basic drip coffee maker to something that can actually pull a decent espresso at home. The biggest worry I hear is the classic, will this machine be a money sink and end up gathering dust? Especially when the price tag starts to look more like a small kitchen appliance purchase than a gadget. You want to know if the machine will fit into your daily routine, give you consistent results, and actually feel worth the spend before you commit any cash. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What I'm going to walk through today is the Fellow Espresso Series 1. I spent a few mornings actually setting it up, testing a handful of recipes, and watching the built-in guidance in action. The goal is to give you a realistic picture of what life looks like with this machine on the counter, not just a list of specs read off a sheet. I'll break down who will get the most mileage out of it, who might be better off looking elsewhere, and what the daily strengths and hidden trade-offs are after the initial hype fades. First off, let's talk about the learning curve. The Series 1 markets itself as beginner-friendly, expert-ready. In practice, the on-screen prompts are genuinely helpful. When you turn it on, the display walks you through a basic shot, then steps you through a latte or cappuccino recipe. The guidance feels more like a coach than a set of static instructions. It tells you when the shot is too fast, alerts you if the temperature drifts, and even adjusts the steam wand automatically as it senses the milk temperature. For someone who's never tamped a puck before, that kind of real-time feedback eliminates a lot of the guesswork that usually leads to bitter or watery espresso. Now, for people who already know their way around a traditional espresso machine, you might wonder if the built-in coaching is just gimmickry. The reality is that the coaching doesn't get in the way of manual control. Once you're comfortable, you can still dial in the pressure profile and temperature ranges yourself. The pressure profiling feature, which allows you to vary the brew pressure in stages, is actually useful for tweaking the flavor nuances of different beans. I experimented with a light roast from Ethiopia and a darker Italian blend. Adjusting the pressure mid-shot gave me a noticeably brighter top note with the Ethiopian beans and a richer body with the darker blend. In short, the system doesn't lock you into a single recipe. You can still treat it like a traditional machine if you want. One of the biggest pain points with many home espresso machines is the heat-up time. The Fellow heats up in under 2 minutes, which is a noticeable improvement over older prosumer models that can take 5 to 10 minutes to stabilize. That quick ramp-up means you can actually make a shot right after you wake up without feeling like you've been waiting forever. The temperature stability also appears solid. After the initial heat-up, the machine maintains its set point within a degree or two, which translates to consistent extractions from cup to cup. In my experience, that consistency is where the value really begins to show. If you're a milk-heavy drinker, the assisted steam wand is worth a closer look. Traditional steam wands require you to listen to the hissing and feel the temperature change in your hand to know when the milk is ready. Fellow's wand incorporates a temperature sensor that automatically cuts the steam once the milk hits about 65 C, 149 F. The result is smoother microfoam without the guesswork, and it reduces the risk of scorching the milk, a common nightmare for beginners. For latte art enthusiasts, the steadier steam makes it easier to achieve that glossy surface you need for a clean rosette or heart pattern. That said, the wand's flow rate is a bit more restrained than some high-pressure steamer models, so if you're used to a very rapid steam output, you might notice the difference in the time it takes to reach volume. Let's discuss the trade-offs. First, the machine is a single-group unit, so you can only pull one shot at a time. If you routinely make multiple shots for a group of friends or for batch brewing, you'll have to wait between each extraction. That's a minor inconvenience for most solo users, but it becomes a bottleneck for small gatherings. Second, the water reservoir is modest, roughly a liter, so you'll need to refill it if you're planning on a marathon coffee session. On the upside, the smaller reservoir keeps the footprint compact and the machine fits comfortably on a standard countertop without dominating the space. Another subtle point is the built-in grinder. The Series 1 does not include a grinder, which means you'll need a separate burr grinder if you want fresh coffee. This isn't a flaw per se, but it adds an extra cost for anyone who was hoping for an all-in-one solution. On the flip side, separating the grinder lets you choose a grinder that matches your budget and preferred.